In a recent interview, Machete actor Danny Trejo revealed that he and director Robert Rodriguez are working on a new Machete movie that will be called Machete Kills Again in Space. Trejo said the following: "Robert and I are going to start to do Machete Kills in Space, so that's going to be awesome, absolutely. We're going to be working on it this year." Mark, buy or sell the idea for Machete Kills Again in Space?
I mean, I like the idea if you're a fan of this franchise so far, but I'm going to sell it because I don't care about seeing this movie at all. I get what it is. I like the first Machete, okay. The second one, I thought just missed the mark. I saw that it was going for this fun B-movie tone. I didn't like Mel Gibson in it at all. I like Danny Trejo in the film, but it just seems like that he could be used. There's so many better projects that I think that Robert Rodriguez and him could be working on. But if this is what they care about making, then fine. I think if you were a fan of the second one, that this should be welcome news and that you should buy this. For me personally, I'm going to sell it because I just don't care about it. I think I get it, that it's fun celebrating jumping the shark, but it just doesn't seem like a full movie's worth of fun to me.
I enthusiastically sell this. With enthusiasm, I sell this. I mean, we were all so excited about the first Machete, and the first 10 minutes of the first Machete delivered on the promise of Machete. Yes. And then it just went to garbage after that. It became boring and insufferable. And then the second one, there were I got to admit, there were a few moments that made me laugh and smile and stuff like that. But overall, I thought it was a waste of time. The second Machete movie made less than 1/3 of what the first Machete movie. I think the first Machete movie made like $45 million. Second one made like $15 million. I'm also on the verge of giving up on Robert Rodriguez. I'm on the verge. I mean, even look at Sin City, right? First Sin City is great. It makes like $158 million. It's all that kind of stuff. But then he goes into the slump and then comes out with Sin City 2 way too late. I was quite disappointed. I didn't think it was awful, but I was quite disappointed with Sin City 2. And it made like $38 million, like less than a third or a quarter of what the other one made. Now Machete in Space. Here's the word. If we were playing, what's the word? The word today would be desperate. I feel like the word is desperate. So for me, it's a sell.
Desperado.
Nice.
Hey, look, I'm going to sell it, but I really like Robert Rodriguez and his energy and his spirit and his independent style. Unfortunately, I have to agree with you. I actually liked Machete, the first one. I really enjoyed it. And so when Machete Kills was coming out, I was like, they're honoring what they said at the end, that they're going to make 2 more of these weird Machete films. I could barely get through Machete Kills. It was quite honestly a horrible film. And I know filmmakers who take things very personally. It's not a dig on Robert Rodriguez. You've already made a ton of amazing movies. That one just sucked. So, I mean, to me, and that's just my opinion. So when I hear about Machete Kills in Space, if it's going to be like Machete Kills, I'll pass, and that's why I'm selling it. If it's going to be more like Machete, then I'll eat my words and say, hey, he brought back the fun and excitement of, good, fun, weird storytelling, but not in a too jokey and wink, wink, nudge, nudge to the audience kind of way. I also agree, like Sin City, the second one, if they got rid of the opening and the ending and just made a Dame to Kill For, it would have been a fantastic movie. But those other 2 stories just were not done right.
If they cut the opening and the ending and the middle, you would have been on to something.
No, I like that. I gotta say, I think the
middle one was the best.
Eva
part.
Green playing the Dame to Kill For was incredible. The way they did it shot for shot was fantastic. It's just those other 2 stories just drained the life out of the overall movie.
But here's a question I have. So if the first Sin City makes $158 million and the second Sin City, which had a big drop in quality too, only made $38 million, coming off a movie that everybody loved. Everybody loved the first one. Who's going to see a third Sin City, or who's going to see a third Machete? I should ask. So, like with Machete, make $45 million, and it dropped to $15 million, and most people didn't like it. Who is left to go see a third Machete movie? That's the big question. Who's financing this?
I think family and friends. I mean, look, I really don't.
Kickstarter.
Look, I mean, look, having said that, is like I can be very selfish sometimes and say, no, I think Robert Rodriguez has such an amount of talent that I want to see him do other projects. Right. If this is the movie that he wants to make, then have at it. I want Martin Scorsese to make a Jabba the Hutt gangster film. So if I'm controlling Hollywood, it's a very awful place. But I think that if this is the movie he wants to make, it just doesn't intrigue me at all.
Or a fantastic place, Mark.
Or
what about that?
That's the world that an Aunt May movie actually gets made.